All right, Caleb.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you for coming on your day off. Thanks for coming on an unusually stressful day off. Thanks for traveling.
No problem.
Thanks for being here. And I want to sort of get some things out of the way. Like, let's just establish a baseline of how we address one another, I guess, or how I address you, I should say. And what is your identity, your gender identity?
I guess you would say trans male.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like the labels, to be honest.
Uh-huh. So, and you prefer he pronouns?
Yes.
He, his, him?
Mm-hmm.
And then, so to clarify for the audience, we would say that you were born biologically female.
Correct.
Is that correct? And you have, to some degree, let's say, transitioned in your presentation. Do you want to discuss the extent to which you've transitioned?
I mean, to be honest with you, I do the binding. I don't do too much else.
Okay.
As of current, just because of the situation that trans people have been facing and the changes in the movement.
Yes.
I've been kind of backing down, actually.
Right.
Because it just makes me uncomfortable at this point.
Does backing down mean detransitioning, or just maybe like being less face forward or less vocal about how you see yourself?
Very much less vocal.
Uh-huh.
If someone calls me a female, I'm much more likely to be like, okay, cool, thanks.
I've observed that. I've observed you handle people that way when they refer to you using female pronouns.
Very much so.
Yes. And, okay, so let's say, now how about, you said trans male's a little awkward. How does the label trans masculine feel to you?
It feels like it's not normal. Like it's something that's different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be seen as different than anybody else.
How do you want to be seen?
I just want to be seen for me.
Just for a human, masculine presenting person.
Yeah.
And so the specific label doesn't really matter to you, but you do have a strong preference for male pronouns.
Yes.
Is that all correct?
Yeah.
And have you done any, besides binding and dressing and haircut and whatnot, do you do anything, have you done anything in the way of a biological transition or
No.
a physical transition? No hormones, nothing like that? No, certainly no surgeries.
No.
Okay.
I do have one biological child, so.
Yes. And I've heard you refer to yourself as her mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I would like to lean into that. I met another trans person, a trans female, who had a child prior to transition, and she would tell me that yes, to the world I am a female, but to my daughter I'm her father. And do you feel a similar thing? Do you present yourself in a more masculine way, but to your daughter you're her mother?
I would kind of say that.
Okay.
A lot of people who are in my circle tend to dead name me. And I accept that for her.
Okay.
Well, yes, I feel a certain way. I'm raising my daughter.
Right.
Gender to her means nothing.
She's young. Do you want to share her age?
She's 2.
Okay.
She'll be 3 soon.
Mm-hmm.
But to her, gender's nothing. She doesn't understand it.
Right.
I mean, she knows she's a girl, obviously.
Right.
I don't want to change her views on this world.
Mm-hmm.
Her innocence should remain intact.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm undressed with my child or near my child, she sees a woman.
Okay.
I'm fully a woman underneath my clothes.
Right.
I don't want to confuse my child and everybody's like, oh, well, you're a dude. And then my daughter's looking at me going, but you have the same parts as me, Mommy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to confuse her.
Mm-hmm.
So I do let a lot of the people in my close-knit circle dead name me in the attempt to let her be her and to remain in that innocence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And some people, these things have become so politically charged. You have said to me in the past that you see yourself as a conservative.
Very much so.
Please say more. Like, how do you conceive of yourself as a conservative first, and then after that, we'll kind of go into the topic of how your conservatism informs your identity and vice versa.
I mean, I've always been a conservative. I love my guns, obviously.
Hell yeah!
I like my red meat.
Me too.
But I'm also a Christian, and I know that's very taboo to most people.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that people should have the right to live their life how they want.
Right.
And it should not be so publicized.
Why not?
Because I feel like the more you live your life in the public eye, the more you lose who you really are.
Oh, just in general, not even in terms of trans or LGBT.
Yeah, just in general, the mind works in a very tricky way sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start living your life under an identity of any kind,
yes,
you start to associate with that.
Mm-hmm. And you might conform to things you wouldn't otherwise conform to.
Normally.
Very wise, Caleb. How old are you?
I'm 31.
Very wise, Caleb. Thank you. Please continue.
So for me, I tend to lean more towards conservative because honestly, they don't care what I am. They genuinely don't. As long as I'm going to work and I'm doing what I have to do for my family, they don't care. I'm not out here screaming and hollering. I'm not demanding special treatment.
Right.
And they're not saying I have to.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, do what you can, survive.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm cool with that.
Okay.
I've met several conservatives, and they're just really respectful.
Mm-hmm. Well, so what I'm hearing, not to prod too much on that, but what I'm hearing is that you feel very accepted by conservatives. Mm-hmm. Of course, we're in a climate where for let's say the past 10 years, conservatives have been making bread and butter off of, let's say, basically I would call it the dark art of stoking people's transphobia. I mean, do you agree with that statement or disagree?
I'm not talking to an extent. You do have some people out there very similarly, even in the left, that will do the same thing.
I agree.
They'll stoke on the left. They'll hit gun rights, and they know what will upset people. Right. And I think that's the problem with our political climate. Mm-hmm. At this point, it's not what people believe. It's constantly. It's like looking at two 2-year-olds that want one toy. And one will say one mean thing to another, and they'll bicker back and forth over this one thing. Mm-hmm. And in my mind, it's Republican, Democrat, us. Mm-hmm. And they're both sitting there, and they're going to poke at each other until they get what they want, which is us. Our votes, our voice. Right. Because our votes, our voice are what matters. Yes. And the longer they feel like they can keep the bickering between them on us, the more I feel we divide. Yeah, yeah. It's like they're role modeling vitriol and divisiveness because they want us to act that way, but behind the scenes, they all know they're working together. That's how I see it. And it very much appears that way in some things. Because when you look at some conservatives, they'll run on a platform of this, that, and the other. Right. And then when they actually get in, none of this, that, and the other actually happens. Mm-hmm. It's just they appealed to the voting base that they wanted, and now they're there. Okay. And now everything they said they were running against slowly starts to bleed into their behavior.
I happen to agree. Are you talking about just the right, just the left, or both?
I would say both.
Yeah.
I would honestly say both. Mm-hmm. And I know that trans rights, gay rights, a lot of this stuff is in play right now. Yeah. And I hate that. Right. I hate the idea that they're weaponizing so many different things just in the name of votes.
And their power.
Or looking good. And I'm sorry, but there's no group that should ever feel like they need to be one way or another. To be heard. Yes. And they do the same thing with Christians. They do the same thing with a lot of different groups. And I think that's honestly why I still fall kind of conservative. Because I'm seeing more and more conservatives that are coming through. They're actually doing what they say they're going to do. Okay. To a point.
Can you give some examples or elaborate on that?
Well, we know one of them. He was killed. Oh, Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk. Okay.
Big hot topic. But I actually really did enjoy listening to him.
So you liked Charlie Kirk?
I very much did.
Well, I've heard some liberals and Democrats and identitarian people express support, or they're happy that he was killed. And even people in this community have said things to that effect. and they have talked about him as a hateful person. Now, I'll be honest and say that I never much cared for Charlie Kirk prior to his death, and I'd be lying if I say I like him now, but I have an appreciation for him now, especially when you compare him to someone like Nick Fuentes, who the right is sort of coordinating as the new Charlie Kirk. If you look at...
I can't stand the new guy. Sorry.
You can't stand Nick Fuentes?
No, I cannot.
Well, he's very, very homophobic and transphobic. And then you can hear, if you look at the sum totality, yeah, Charlie Kirk said some offensive things at times. But I never thought he said it with hatred in his heart.
No.
Like he never, there was not any venom or vitriol. He was more like, oh, I'm praying for you, or I disagree with you, and this is my worldview. And as Megyn Kelly said, you all killed our nice guy, now you're going to get the mean guy. That seems to be what the right is feeling. People are pissed off that Charlie Kirk got killed. There is, I don't personally believe this specter of this Tyler person or whoever it was with the trans partner. I think that's a fall guy, a patsy, in my opinion. Maybe you have a different thought. But
no, I definitely would agree with you that Tyler's very much a patsy.
Yeah.
But the only reason, now mind you, I've been following Charlie Kirk since his days of Facebook, changed my mind. I've been following him his whole career.
Okay.
And even as a gay person, as a trans person,
yeah,
I've followed this man because, yes, in some ways, his religion did dictate some of his conservative value.
Yeah.
But I've seen him around trans people.
Right.
And yes, if they hit him with religion, he'd go back to you real quick on his religious view.
That's right.
That's how you're coming to him.
With fire in his eyes.
But if you came up to him on a political standpoint,
yeah,
of how do you feel as a conservative, with trans rights, he would very much, I respect you, I would treat you no differently.
Well, and I pointed out to some people, some of my liberal friends, who really think that he was a hate monger, and I just don't see it. I mean, I remember the days of God hates fags. I remember Fred Phelps.
Oh yeah.
I remember segregation now, segregation forever.
Yeah.
He was not that.
No.
He was just saying my religion disagrees with that, and that's a very mainstream Christian view, and people are allowed to have that view in this country, and our First Amendment says that people are allowed to share that view. But he platformed and paid Blair White. He platformed and paid Rob Smith, an openly gay black conservative. Several LGBT people. TPUSA leaned into a diversity and inclusion strategy, and I've seen him stand up to groypers, Nick Fuentes people, who say, the founding fathers meant for this to be a white Christian society, and I've seen him bite.
Prove it.
I've seen him fight back. I've seen him bite back to say, "Is that in the Constitution?" No, it's not. And say it with passion and with anger that the person would say that, and everybody knows he was close friends with Candace Owens. And it's like I just don't see the cause of posthumously painting Charlie Kirk as a hate monger. He said some things that the left hates, but I'm glad to hear you say that you don't have that type of feeling. But nevertheless,
and I genuinely don't. Like I said before, I've followed this man for so long.
Yeah.
And I mean, I agree. But when you look at a lot of his position, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you go to colleges, what do you see? Oh, I identify as they, them.
Right.
Or my pronouns are X and XR.
Mm-hmm.
It has gotten to the point where trans people, non-binaries, gays, the left has weaponized them, made them feel like if they do not fight this,
right,
that they're going to have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I genuinely disagree with that.
Right.
We won. We got gay marriage. We got what we wanted in the beginning.
Societal acceptance.
And now it has gone to such an extreme, and I think that's why Charlie had the position he did, like most Christians.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems like every time you turn on the TV, you have gay scenes, lesbian scenes,
yes,
trans characters. They are making it such an identity instead of just a life choice.
And the way I say it is they're marketing it.
Very much so. They're marketing us as they're different, but it's okay to be different. And I'm okay with different.
Mm-hmm.
but don't put me on a poster.
Mm-hmm.
I work retail.
Right.
I drive not a new car.
Yeah.
I don't have fancy things.
Right.
I don't have no status.
And the protection that comes with those fancy things.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just a normal human being that goes to work. People know who I am.
Yeah.
I've never been questioned.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and some of my coworkers, they have questions, and they're always going to.
Right.
And I would rather answer a question and have a human conversation than what I'm seeing on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Respect my pronouns. Respect me. I'm sorry that they do.
Mm.
But you cannot keep pushing your beliefs
Right.
on people and expect that nobody's going to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really why people disagreed with Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you pushed him, he pushed back.
Well, sure. He wasn't a wet noodle.
No. And I think that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
We as a generation have become soft to a point.
Well, and the way I see it, and I think this has to do with manipulation. I think Gen Z has been very highly indoctrinated and manipulated in certain ways. Right. And back in my day, what I recall, in my young adulthood, the LGBT movement was fighting for equality.
Correct.
Whereas now it almost feels like they're fighting for supremacy.
Very much.
Like they want more privileges, they want more they want over-representation. Even if you look at GLAAD, Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, okay? Mm-hmm. They fought for representation in the 90s and the early aughts. Now they're fighting. Now they're fighting for over-representation. Like they've actually released standards, and if you go back and read them, they want more representation in the media than is factually accurate. They want over-representation of LGBT, and I refer people all the time to the work of the fantastic feminist journalist Jennifer Bilek.
Yes.
Are you familiar with her?
Yes.
And the 11th Hour blog.
Yeah.
And she has followed the money, and she's talked about the economics of promoting transgenderism, mm-hmm. and the economics of promoting transgenderism to Gen Z and Gen Alpha in terms of gender clinics have exploded all across the country. There were 3 20 years ago. There are over 200 now. And then it's obvious when you trace the money that if you trace the money back to its roots, these people are billionaires and they have eugenicist beliefs. So when you see people marketing LGBT identities, which we know are non-reproductive identities, it just feels to me like some people want a bunch of girls in Gen Z and Gen Alpha to sterilize themselves permanently before they even hit puberty. What are your thoughts?
I would definitely agree. I mean, I have a child.
Yeah.
I have a 2-year-old.
Right.
If a guy can say, I identify as a female and walk into the restroom with my 2-year-old, mm-hmm. we gonna have some words. Uh-huh. And I mean that with the greatest of respect. Yes. I get that some people cannot afford to transition. And some people genuinely don't believe in hormonal transition. Right. And I completely understand that. Yes. If you still have the parts of a biological male, mm-hmm. and you still have a beard, yes. You are not shaving it off, you are not putting on, your concealer, your foundation, and trying to actively pass as female. Right. You don't belong in the restroom with my 2-year-old. Mm-hmm. And we will have words, and you will leave the restroom while my daughter is in that bathroom. Mm-hmm. Because at that point, it's not a matter of my personal belief. Right. My conservatism goes out the window when I'm around my daughter. Right. My job is to protect that of my child. Yeah. And that is what scares me the most about that marketing. Mm-hmm. My daughter is a prime candidate, mm-hmm. as young as she is, to start having that mindset change, which is why, like I said before, I am passionate about keeping my identity from my child. Right. Because I already know the fight she is going to face going into schools where now kids are being told they can identify as cats, dogs, lizards, dragons, mm-hmm. boy, girl. Gender's just not a thing at all. Mm-hmm. And that has been a major shift. Mm-hmm. And I know, you're my generation. Right. We always believe there's male and there's female. Right. We've always believed that. Yeah. And even with the transgender movement being able to go between male and female. Right. That's always been accepted. Right. But at the end of the day, the way they're doing it is meant to sterilize you and destroy your body.
Right.
In the name of reproductive rights or that dysphoria feeling, to fix that dysphoria.
Right.
How do you fix the dysphoria that you're creating?
Woo, say more.
Because when you start telling little girls that really you're a little boy, and they don't know what that is,
right?
Because they have no idea about anatomy.
Yes.
They just know that they both sit down and they go potty and they go.
Right.
That's all they know. They're more concerned about Clifford and Barney and Coco Melon
and Bluey
than they are about who goes into what bathroom.
Right.
Who does what in that bathroom. But when you start telling children, oh, well, you're really a little boy, that's going to cause question.
Yeah.
And the more you tell my child that, the more she's going to come to me and go, Mommy, I think I'm a little boy. Well, what makes you think that? Well, somebody keeps telling me that.
Wow.
Okay. Well, that's not an option.
Right.
Don't tell my child what her identity is.
Yeah.
She will tell me.
Well, and what...
make that a choice.
You previously, I think, you started changing your self-presentation, I believe you said around age 23, was it?
Yes.
Let's say your daughter does grow up to feel trans. At what age would you kind of accept that as legitimate, hypothetically?
18 to 21. 18.
So you believe it's an adult decision?
Yes.
And that part of the problem is that they're marketing this to children?
Yeah, and parents. And I've seen some parents that are very much, I didn't want a little girl, I wanted a little boy. And they try to beat that into their daughter's head that they were really supposed to be born a boy because that's what the parents wanted. And they will use that to bully their child into transitioning.
So it's like...
to suit the parents' wants and desires versus what is the best for that child.
So there are parents who, for whatever reason, want there to be the special parents of the special children who are at the center of all this political heralding and whatnot. So Munchausen's by proxy is what they usually call that, yes. Munchausen's disorder. And then there are other people then, but this happens to parents who are conservative and who don't want it to happen to them as well.
Because it's taught in schools.
And really TikTok, Reddit, Instagram, they've been marketing it. And like I said, Jennifer Black found traced the money, there's no doubt. We know that there are adults entering these chat rooms pretending to be age peers who are questioning their gender. We know, but these are full-grown adults just trying to manipulate people into, especially girls. And for all the history of humankind, transgenderism has been with us for thousands and thousands of years. Like indigenous cultures, like all over the world, we see evidence of it. But it's
even in the Bible.
Sure. Okay. Well, eunuchs are mentioned in the Bible, and there. But we know that for all of human history, it's always been the case that it's been more common to find male to female than female to male. So when we look at Gen Z and Gen Alpha, and all of a sudden it's the opposite, and it's opposite by a factor of like 600 to 800%. Something's off. Something's happening here.
But you're also, and I think one thing you're not factoring. Men are not what they used to be 20 years ago.
Yeah,
or even 30 years ago.
Yeah,
that belief system is dying out.
Yeah.
And now they're expecting women to feel like they need to feel that role. And that role has to be filled by somebody. Whether that's being the breadwinner, someone who initiates intimacy, leads the home, whatever, right?
Protector, yeah.
If a man isn't going to do it, and a woman is expected to,
right,
that can create damage even on a female mindset to make them think more masculine. And eventually could even lead to them feeling like, well, maybe I'm supposed to be a boy if I can do all of this and I'm so great at it. Now, don't get me wrong. I love masked lesbians. Y'all are phenomenal. Really.
But
it's gone a little far with females transitioning to males. But we've also seen that even in this spike of abortions over the years. It's gone up and up and up.
Yeah.
I've seen so many women on TikTok, oh, I've had 60 abortions. I've had 12 abortions. And they're just like, Yeah, and celebrating. And it's no different than a woman choosing to become a transgender male, take the hormone, and become permanently sterile.
Right.
Because prolonged abortions can sterilize a woman as easily as the chemicals it takes to change the female body to that of a male body.
Right.
And it's still not even complete.
Well, I think that's why even on the left, you see, for example, Black American leftists who are still voting Democrat still bristle at all this. And you have to take into the account the history of medical experimentation on Black folks and how Black people are very well aware, as I personally am very well aware. The eugenics movement never went away in this country. You know, the eugenics movement inspired the Nazis in this country. The American Nazi Party and the eugenics movement funded the Nazi Party. Let's keep it a buck, or at least, not totally, but at least they were giving them resources. And this movement, they just pivoted their strategies. They just stopped talking openly about being eugenicists because literacy was proliferating. So they were not able to openly write about it as much as they were. But they obviously have co-opted LGBT politics to this end. And so, of course, straight people are going to start hating gay people again. Of course, cisgender people are going to start hating trans people again because the people who advocate and say we represent the LGBT community.
No, you don't.
Sold the movement out, and I would agree with that. Sold the movement out, and it's almost like that image from the 19th century European monarchs carving up Africa. Yes. That's how I see it. Like the Zionist movement got a piece of the LGBT movement. The transhumanists got a piece. The technocratic billionaires got a piece. The eugenicists got a piece. It's like everybody's slicing up the pie to push whatever agenda they want to. And because the LGBT movement sold out, and you have activists, people who call themselves activists but want to make six figures to do their activism, so-called, all of a sudden, okay, the billionaires say sure, but the price tag of that is you're going to help us depopulate. I mean, that's how I see it.
And here's what really bothers me. Aside from the transgender movement,
right,
the lesbians.
Okay.
I feel sorry for them.
Say more.
Lesbians have been created to be a sex image.
Well, true.
For so long. They've made it this erotic, thing where, lesbians are just lesbians.
Right.
I love you. I'm one of you. But we're not sex objects.
Okay.
And why is it every movie nowadays, you've got us sleeping with another female?
Right.
Why is that?
Yes.
Why is every show coming out now, like, take The Last of Us Season 2, very open lesbian sex scenes?
Wow.
Why are we being degraded for straight people's entertainment?
Right.
Because that's all it is. Straight men, when you look at them, their biggest fantasy is to watch two lesbians have sex. Everybody knows that.
Femme on femme.
It's been that way for a long time.
Sure.
And now it's almost this expectation that in every show you see at least two females having sex or two males having sex. So now they've taken something that we do in private, the people we love, the people we choose to be with, and have taken it and made it now entertainment.
Yes.
Commodity. Instead of two people who love each other, they fell in love, they're married, and be just that. I am tired of this culture romanticizing something and objectifying them.
Well, it's almost like...
We are just women.
Right.
At the end of the day, whether I'm trans or not, I am a woman.
Right.
I don't want you looking at me pretending or thinking that, what I'm doing in the bedroom.
Right.
I don't want you looking at some show and then thinking, I see those two women, I kind of wonder. It doesn't need to be that way.
Right.
I don't look at a straight person and go, I wonder what you do in the bedroom. I don't do that. So why is it every show is doing that now? Why do you have transgenders in almost every show coming out?
That's right.
Why do you have lesbians in almost every show coming out? And it's getting more and more explicit. It's getting more and more in our faces.
Right.
And it really makes people mad because straight
Yes.
couples are like, well, I don't want to see gay stuff in my shows. And lesbians are like, I don't want to see straight stuff in my shows. And again, creates that issue. And I've seen it time and time and time and again, especially on social media. They want these mask thirst traps. They want these femme thirst traps. Mm-hmm. Why do we have to degrade or show more flesh?
Right.
To be respected and accepted by our own community.
Well, just reducing people to the most pornographic version of the identity, for example. And I always think of it this way, too. I mean, what offends me about what GLAAD is doing and other similar organizations, the thing, I appreciate your take. But my take on it, what offends me the most deeply is this is anti-art. You know, this is anti-artist. You know, like you're telling artists and creators what they can and cannot create and what they can and cannot create in order to be economically viable. And so that is offensive on several fronts because look at real life. There are heterosexual cisgender people that only ever hang around heterosexual cisgender people. There are people who prefer to just hang around their own. Those stories are not being told. And artists who want to tell those stories are gonna be told, oh yeah, we'll let you on this Netflix, we'll let you on Amazon Prime, we'll let you on network television, but you got to throw a queer in there, and you know, and that's aesthetically and artistically as an artist, I am deeply offended by that. When that guy, you know, these people making the cakes, you know, when these people making the cakes who are real cake artists are told you have to make a gender transition celebration cake or a gay marriage cake or whatever, that's offensive to me as an artist because you cannot tell the First Amendment, you cannot tell an artist what they can and cannot create.
Correct.
And then as LGBT folks, like for example, let's say you want to learn more about straight people. And one way to learn about straight people is media. You know, like these are things that can bring us together if we use these safe environments to learn more about each other so we can learn better how to approach each other and talk to each other. Where do you go to learn about cisgender heterosexual people now? In media. There's nowhere to go, you know? Unless you're doing
unless you work retail.
Well, yeah, you get plenty well exposed in retail. I agree.
Oh yeah.
And it just feels that, you know, all the acceptance and societal gains are just being thrown away, just being pissed away. Like nobody cares that this is a delicate thing that people put a lot of time, energy, effort, blood, sweat, and tears into. And you guys are just going to overextend and just take it way too far and set us back 50 years. Exactly. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that's how people feel.
And I want to go off of what you're saying, actually. You're an artist, right? Mm-hmm. When you look at a show, and I know almost every 90s kids to early 2000s kids knows the show Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I love it.
It was a phenomenal show. Mm-hmm. And everybody in it started off straight. Everybody in that show.
That's true.
Started off straight. Mm-hmm. Xander was with Cordelia. Willow was with Oz. Buffy was always with some undead creature. No offense, had to take the pot shot.
She had a complex.
And Giles always had different women.
Right. Black women.
And when you look at how the show progressed, you get a few seasons in, right? Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, Oz leaves Willow, and Willow's all heartbroken, and then she goes into being a lesbian.
Yes.
Like, you break up with your boyfriend, and that all of a sudden makes you gay? Like, you've had no prelude to this character development.
Yeah.
Because everybody she's been interested up till that point has always been boys. Like Xander and all the demon, even the computer demon that she liked was a boy. Mm-hmm. Everybody historically that she liked was a boy. And the one boy she's with seriously, he leaves and all of a sudden, oh, now I'm a lesbian. Mm-hmm. And they kept it very tasteful, mind you. I agree. Loved Tara. I loved the storyline that they built. Mm-hmm. And it was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Then you get to the last season.
Okay.
And that's where it lost me. When I'm watching Willow and Kennedy, I think was her name, almost openly having sex where the camera is showing you more than it has ever shown you on that show. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, Buffy and I think Spike's sex scenes were getting a lot more graphic.
Right.
but not as graphic as that one got.
Yes.
And you see that transition, and it's like, wait a second. Why did you feel the need to take one character who is historically straight and make them a lesbian? Mm-hmm. Like, why did that need to be thrown in there? Mm-hmm. It didn't change character development.
And then make it, like you said, the pornographic version of it. You know, I think the word, we have to look at, people talk about taking kids to drag shows as grooming, but we have to talk about the type of grooming that happens with, like what you're describing, or that when Christina Aguilera at 15 years old was dressing like a total whore and saying, "I'm a genie in a bottle, you have to rub me the right way."
Yeah.
Or when they had Aaliyah, her album produced by R. Kelly was Age Ain't Nothing But a Number.
Yeah.
And what concerns me is I kind of tune in. I'm immature. I'm an immature person. So I love a television show that's designed for teens. and
I can't disagree with you. I'm 31 years old and I still play video games. I'm also of an age to where I watch it with a critical eye. And so, like, what's that show with Archie? Riverdale. Right.
First season of Riverdale, they had a story plot line that was normalizing pedophilia. You know, Archie was dating an adult teacher. And I'm telling you, I'm take it from someone who's very immature and watches lots of teeny bopper shows. Every single one of these shows has some plot line, major or minor, that's normalizing pedophilia.
Or even the ones that are normalizing lesbians fighting and it being a horrible relationship.
Dysfunction.
Yeah.
Normalizing dysfunction.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they do it with gays too.
Yes.
They normalize the relationship, like you said. Pedophilia was normalized, right? But even in the show, if you watch a little longer, there's always that discrepancy between the two, that conflict. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry. Pedophilia will never be accepted in my book.
Same me. Oh, well, same here. No. And it's just like we have to. There are people are doing this on purpose. There are people who have reasons for doing this, and then people aren't paying attention, whether it's music or anything else. Parents are not paying attention to what their kids are consuming. Parents are not paying attention to how their kids are being groomed by pop culture and having their minds warped by it, and having the standard of what's normal be recalibrated against their interests.
I mean, think about it. Britney Spears, and I forget what year it was released, right? Was a song called 3.
Uh-huh.
Basically having a literal 3 other men with her.
It was a threesome song or a foursome song?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I missed that one.
You'll have to look it up.
Britney Spears 3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I actually have it on my phone. I'll show it to you after.
Thank you.
But when you listen to songs like this, I Seek Amy. Mm-hmm. Okay, slow the song down. You know what it means. Mm-hmm. When you're listening to songs like Ricky Martin, you know, her love is like a drug. Right. I'm not quite following that's, you know.
Or Rihanna saying, "We found love in a hopeless place," and the images are all pills being poured onto a table.
Yeah.
Benzos, opioids. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Our kids are being poisoned.
Attacked.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And I mean, seriously, the song Slide, even now, sorry, Ella Red, love you. I listen to your music, but look at the song that trended on TikTok for months. I Like You Best. Mm. Well, do you know how many teenage girls at my company that come into my store are playing that song, I Like You Best with Your Head Between My Legs?
Who's the artist?
Ella Red.
I don't know this person.
I have that song too.
Okay.
It's catchy when you're an adult. Right.
It's for an adult.
And a lot of this music
is for adults.
Right, but even when we were kids, a lot of the music was the same. Love me, pretend that you love me. Yeah. Dysfunctional relationships. And infidelity. Every woman needs a splackabelly. That's probably before your time. You remember that? I remember that. Every woman needs a splackabelly. That's infidelity, you know. And of course, from the male side, they're all talking about their side hoes and
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, Snoop Dogg started it, and then Dr. Dre, Eminem.
Yeah.
I mean, I've listened to Eminem and Dr. Dre for years.
Yes.
But
me too.
When you're sitting here listening to them talk about picking up women in bars.
Right.
And getting them drunk.
Yes.
And taking them back to your hotel or your place to have some fun.
Or Molly Percocet.
There was actually a song called Molly.
Well, Mask Off. That song was called Mask Off, and they kept saying Molly Percocet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was another song I actually wrote, and I don't remember the name. I have it on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask me why I have so much of this on my phone.
Well, we love it. I mean, we love it, but we
hate it.
But it
was talking about Molly and marijuana and the club scene.
Yes.
This is what our kids are hearing, whether it's on our phones.
Yes.
On TikTok, YouTube. This is the music that is available to our children. Mm-hmm. And you think about the movies, even just the movies. Yes. There are so many movies out there that are LGBT aimed. Yeah. Good for you. Okay. Take it off of Prime TV. Oh. Or label it better.
Why is that? Or you're talking about in terms of age restriction? Yes. Okay. So in other words, that there needs to be some sort of mechanism in place to give, I guess, parental controls on what their kids can access.
Yes. There's a movie. And you would think by the title, most lesbians know this movie. But I'm a cheerleader with RuPaul.
Love that movie.
It's not rated R.
It's not?
No.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It is PG-13 unless they have changed the rating on it. It is PG-13.
Oh, I'm sure if they changed it to PG.
Yeah. But you see all your classics and their, characters from Orange is the New Black, RuPaul himself. Right. Mocking straight people. Right. And turning gays into straight people.
What I boycott, that movie, what was it called with that guy, Eichner, who was complaining that not enough straight people watch that movie. Bros, was that it? Or so. Bro Love? Yeah. Bro. And I personally boycotted that movie because the reason why in the advertisement campaign, there was this little twerp in there that made this joke that said, oh, straight people had a good run, but they're obsolete now. That's heterophobia. That is heterophobia, and heterophobia is not okay, you know? And I look at, I don't have kids. I look at my nieces and nephews. I do not want my nieces and nephews to grow up as little straight kids in a world that hates them. Any more than I want LGBT kids to grow up in a world that hates them. Why can't we just just get past the bullshit and just say, we're not pushing an agenda here. We just want everybody to be free, and as long as you're not harming kids, you're fine. We have to protect against heterophobia because the transhumanists, go back and read Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. The transhumanists want everybody to be cyborgs and remote controlled. The transhumanists want to decide who can and cannot reproduce, and they want everyone born in pods. And they told us this. Aldous Huxley said this was a disclosure. His brother Julian Huxley was one of the biggest eugenicists of their generation. Yes. And so Aldous Huxley says, this is the plan. This is what we're doing. And look at it manifest. That's what they want. They're attacking human biological reproduction. And I don't care how you identify, LGBT or whatever. We all have a vested interest in biological everyday human beings retaining the authority and the power to procreate. We do not need to be mass sterilized through these bioweapons and whatnot and these campaigns, these propaganda campaigns. Right. We have to protect, which means we cannot accept the creep of heterophobia. We just can't do it. And there's, we had a term back in the day, heterosexism, where it was considered better to be straight than to be gay. Right. Right now, we are almost at a place of homosexism, where it's considered to be better to be LGBT than to be straight. Now, that is a lie and needs to be tossed out the window. Everybody's the same, And then we also have creeping up heterophobia, where you see, there was that beautiful blonde white girl that has 10 kids or something, and people are literally piling in on her, how dare you reproduce? How dare you assert your heterosexuality? How dare you be so openly, flamingly straight? Who are you? And it's just that's heterophobia. And it's not okay. And when we get heterophobic, we make them more homophobic and transphobic. You know?
Especially the church. Right now, the church has really been doing the Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Right.
That is coming back with a vengeance.
It is. And our own movement is participating in it coming back in a vengeance.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
So, but same.
And I mean, like I said, I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
You do you, boo-boo. We all have to face judgment sometime.
That's right.
We're all going to meet our Creator, whoever we believe that to be.
Yes.
We are going to meet them.
Yes.
We're going to deal with our own judgment.
Yes.
So, however, you want to believe is how you want to believe.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to walk into churches and go, if you don't accept me as a gay person or as a trans person,
right,
you're not a Christian. You're not being XYZ. You're not accepting. You're not tolerant. Jesus says this. Jesus says that. Mohammed says this. Or Mohammed, fill in the blank.
Right.
You're creating a problem.
Mm-hmm.
The more you antagonize Christians, the worse it's going to be for the children in those Christian homes.
Sure.
Because now you're messing it up. What if one of their kids is struggling with this sin in their family's mind?
Right.
In their family's mind.
Yes.
Because I don't even know what I would do if my child came out as gay. I don't even know how I would handle it.
Do you want grandkids?
No, I just don't know how to handle it.
Okay,
That's my baby
okay.
girl.
Well, that's honest. That's honest.
But if you're going to keep attacking these Christians, what is the likelihood that when they come out to their parents like, Mom and Dad, I'm gay?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think's going through their mind?
Demonic possession.
Well, not only that, but everything else that the LGBT community is saying is now flashing through their eyes, and they're like, no, you need to pray this away.
Right.
You need to go to church more. You need to XYZ this out of your system, and now you're creating religious trauma.
Well, that's a great place to transition to, because it sounds like we're shitting too much on the left to some people's ears. So let's go. We're getting toward the end. Maybe we had said 4 o'clock, but we can go a little bit longer, I think, as per your schedule. But we're recording this before we're going to broadcast it. But let's go ahead and transition into talking about religious trauma. What would you like to say about how religious trauma has impacted your life?
I think that's one of the reasons I found out at 23 I was what I was.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it delayed your process of self-acceptance?
I grew up in a small town.
Okay.
I'm not going to name the town nor the church.
That's smart.
I promised myself I wasn't going to out them as much as that would have made me feel better. I decided to protect something I really don't want to.
Yes.
Way to be an adult.
Good job, Kayla.
I grew up in a small community where everybody knew my family.
Mm-hmm.
And either most of my family ran the Family Rescue Squad, the church, the grocery store down the street, and everything else around me. My family was huge.
Right.
And there wasn't many people who didn't know me.
Okay.
And, I started going to church at a really young age, and I fell in love with Jesus. I was head over heels for him.
Amen.
Just loved going to VBS. I loved going to church.
Right.
And then I was abused. For 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Not by somebody in the church, but by someone my family knew.
Okay.
Later took care of the issue. The gentleman was prosecuted, convicted very lightly, and sent to jail. When the church found out that had happened to me, it was be quiet.
Wow.
Please don't talk about it. We don't talk about that here in church.
Wow.
Just stop wearing your baggy clothes. Please put on your skirts. Put your dresses back on. Smile. Be happy. Jesus will take care of him. He will heal you. Be quiet. I heard that for a really long time, until middle school. And I found a girl that I really, really liked. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not supposed to feel that way.
Right.
And I'd felt that way for a little while. And I finally gone up to my youth pastor and I was like, Pastor, I think I might be bisexual.
Oh, wow. That's bold of you.
And he looked at me and he goes, "Do you want to be kicked out of this church?" I said, "No, sir." And he goes, "Then you need to go home and pray that away right now."
Were you still a minor at this time?
I was like 13.
Oh,
I
my.
was 12 or 13, and I was told to go home and pray it away.
And you were abused at what age?
9 through 12. Or 8 through 12.
Ooh.
So, yeah, I was coming out of abuse, but looking back now, the tendencies were always there.
So you felt that, because there are some religious people who are going to hear your story and they're going to say that the trauma caused
No.
I
kissed my first girl at 5 years old. I didn't even know what that was.
So it was always there. Were you like a tomboy as a kid? Okay.
Very tomboyish. I'd play outside like the boys. No shirt on, just my shorts on.
Right.
I behaved like they did.
Yes.
I was very much the tomboy you saw at the top of the tree and falling down at some point, getting hurt, put some dirt on my wound and go about my business.
Right.
So the tendencies were always there. Just the trauma might have pushed me a little harder one way. Maybe.
Okay.
However, like I told you, I told him and he said, "Go home, pray it away. And if it doesn't change, don't ever say anything again. I don't want to kick you out of this church. I love you too much to kick you out. But you cannot talk about it, even if you cannot pray it away."
Oh, wow.
Because he was more invested in keeping me in the church.
So it became don't ask, don't tell.
Yes. And I respected him for that. Because he always knew, it was always in the back of his mind.
Right.
But he treated me no differently than he treated any other youth member.
Well, that's good.
And he never brought it up again. The only thing that kept getting brung up was my tomboyish habits. My baggy shorts, my basketball shorts. Now, mind you, we played basketball in youth group, so of course I'm going to be wearing basketball shorts to church. I'm going to be wearing jeans to church because, well, it's comfortable. Screw your skirts and dresses. They don't feel good, they don't fit, and I'm still not comfortable.
Yeah.
And anytime the topic of my abuse had come up was, "Hey, we don't talk about it, but she's acting out. See, she's not wearing her hair long. She's not dressing right. She's not behaving the way we need her to.
Right.
Maybe we should kick her out of the church. Maybe she shouldn't be here. She can't act right."
Well, this is an interesting dynamic because I've observed this as well. And you would think that, so let's say being transgender, biologically transition is a sin hypothetically. Let's say that being same-sex attracted and acting on that is a sin hypothetically. Is being a tomboy a sin?
No.
I mean, it's like there should be, like, why you almost push people into an identity that may not be theirs. I know lots of tomboys who ended up to be heterosexual women, and vice versa, more feminine men who ended up being heterosexual men, and it's like, why not within Christendom? You and I both consider ourselves to be Christian. Why not within Christendom just open up for more gender nonconformity at the innocent level, like before it gets to something that you don't want it to be? Yeah, it's hostile. So how did all this impact you? You describe it as religious trauma.
I graduated high school, and everybody thought I would never get into college, but my youth pastor really wanted me to go to, they're really going to hate me for this, Liberty University.
Oh.
And I was going to catch some waves on that one. But I did go to Liberty University, and, everybody really pressured me to marry a man. He'll
Right.
help you, he'll change you, he'll help you. And I met a young man there my freshman first semester. He was really cute.
You guys met at Liberty.
Yeah. And he was kind of cute. We kind of hit it off. We were friends. He was an idiot. I wasn't. And I only say that because in some areas he kind of was. Technology and stuff was never his friend, but I was better at it.
Okay.
And, over time, his mom... very religious. You don't live together unless you're married.
Okay.
You don't date unless you're intending to get married. And then came the religious trauma. Because now I'm going back to my home church and, "Oh, you found him? He's cute. You guys are dating. You should be married." His mom the same way. "You guys should be married. You guys should be married. If y'all are dating, you should be married." I was 19 at the time. I didn't want to be married.
Right.
well, you're sinning. If you're going to consider letting him come stay in your house for the summer, you're sinning if you guys are not together, like, legal. And I told him, and he was like, I eventually want to marry you. And I'm like, I don't know. I kind of want to marry you, but I don't know. I'm 19 years old. And with all the peer pressure of the church and his religious mother, we ended up married at 19, and I was 20 years old when we got married. We got married not long after my birthday, and he was 23. We were married for 11 years. And it was 11 years of pure torture.
Wow. So most of your religious trauma, as you conceive of it, comes from that time period. Is that correct?
Very much so.
Well, can you elaborate as much details as you want to share? How did that actually manifest? What did it look like and feel like?
Year one, I knew I liked women totally.
Oh, so you knew you were...
Yeah. I kind of had figured that out because being around him, for lack of, being descriptive, there was no spark between us. I liked him. We were friends. But he didn't have a spark towards me, and I didn't have a spark towards him.
So you weren't in love at all?
We thought we were. But by the time that the knot had been tied, Mom was already pegging me as somebody who was evil and trying to destroy her son. I was accused of being pregnant not even a week after we got married.
What?
And my church said that very often. They thought I got married because I was pregnant, even though they were the ones that pushed me into getting married. I was already pregnant. And I wasn't. His mother the same way. Oh, you guys must be pregnant. You guys were the ones that said if we lived together, we had to be married. And it just progressed to a point where I just became miserable. And he was like, I don't ever care if you cheat on me, but it better be a woman.
He said that?
And I started to see a red flag.
Well, that doesn't sound like what a religious person would say.
Right. And it was a very major red flag for me. Like, why would you want me to cheat on you at all? Like, why not just get divorced? My mom won't allow it. The church will not allow us getting divorced.
Wow.
You're stuck with me.
What?
Okay? I mean, and that's when he started hitting me with the Bible says you do what I say. And the Bible says no divorce.
Patriarchy.
Very. And mommy with my son is right. I raised him right. He is leading you the way God would want you.
Oh, so that's that mindset that the man
much.
The man is the spiritual leader of the household.
Very much.
Old school fundamentals.
And then when I caught him talking to other women or watching porn, I'd throw it in his mother's face. Oh, well, that's what men do, honey.
Oh.
That's what men do.
Wow.
The men are allowed to cheat. It is us women that must remain faithful. And when I brought that to the new youth pastors as well, because he was the one that married us, his wife was like, nope, you must stay patient. You must wait for your husband to be faithful.
Tammy Wynette, stand by your man. And then there's this also element to it to where, okay, yes, your husband is being your spiritual leader and is leading you in the right way, but yet and still he has no responsibility to be a spiritual leader because he's allowed to be a pornography addict and a philanderer. Does that sound right? Yeah.
Talking to other women, trying to struck up other relationships while completely abandoning me. Now, mind you, all this time, he's not ever had a job.
Wow.
He is 23 years old at the time, 24, never held a job.
And the church didn't judge him for that?
Well, he was in college and he was figuring himself out.
Oh, there was always every type of excuse for that.
Exactly. But me, 20 years old, 21 years old, I'm working 2 jobs, 40 hours and more combined with 2 jobs to pay all the bills of the home, maintain the vehicle, maintain the car insurance, because again, I'm the only one who has a license.
Oh, Paul, this is confusing me. Okay, so these are fundamentalist Christians.
Yes.
Who believe in patriarchy.
Yes.
And who believe in traditional gender roles. And yet it sounds like they were incredibly tolerant of, let's say, what maybe a deadbeat husband behavior.
Yeah.
And letting the wife support the husband.
Yes.
How did they justify that to themselves within their own religious mindset?
Don't know. Mom and Dad were his parents were divorced when he was 10. So Mommy did both. So I don't know really how that was justified. I really don't at the end of the day.
Well, it just seems hypocrisy, and it sounds like maybe Mom had some issues. Like maybe Mom has some self-hatred as a woman issues or something.
I don't really know, because about 2.5 years into the relationship, I met Julie.
Your current partner.
I'm not gonna, say her last name or anything else. I don't want her business out there.
She's your partner.
Correct.
Yeah.
She was my boss.
She was your boss.
Not in title, not legally, but they put her in charge of me because she had 10 plus years of experience.
Hello, Dami.
And here's the problem. She's 9 years older than me.
Why is that a problem?
Because everybody, genuinely, when they looked at us, they thought we were the same age.
Oh, okay.
Looking at her, we were the same age. And I was like, how does this girl have 10 years experience on me? I could not figure out why they kept putting her above me. Mm-hmm. She looked my age.
Right.
How does she have 10 years experience at this company when she don't look any older than 24, maybe 25? And she is, in their mind, my boss.
It's a right to work state. She obviously started at 14, Kayla. No, I'm just kidding.
When I first started talking to her, he didn't care.
Mm-hmm. Your husband.
Yeah, finally he was like, you're doing you and I'm doing me. And as long as the appearance is that when we're together, we are together.
Well, it sounds like he wasn't actually religious.
It sounded that way. I mean, over time it got worse. So I don't actually ever believe that he was ever truly religious, which is why I was hinting at the religious trauma, not only on me, but on him.
Right.
Like every time he made a wrong move, his mother made him re-get salvation.
What?
That's how she kind of was.
Oh, they brought the holy water, the Bible, and the whole nine. Yeah. Oh, wow.
He had his first drink at 21. He had to stay up for 24 hours straight, no sleep, and re-accept Jesus and humble himself before the Lord because he had one alcoholic drink.
I did not, I'm aware of the existence of this, torture-focused strain of Christian fundamentalism. I had no idea it was still alive and well. Right here in Southern Virginia. I mean, this is this is draconian. I mean, this is Calvinistic.
Very.
Wow.
And when I told him when we finally, after months of both of us being in marriages that quite different, sucked. Mm-hmm. We were together for the first time I'd ever been with a woman. First time she'd ever been with a woman. I came home. Didn't even last me 10 seconds before I looked at him and said, I cheated on you. I had sex with another person. Mm-hmm. He goes, was it a woman or was it a man? Mm-hmm. So it was a woman. He goes, okay, at least it wasn't a guy. And walked away. There was no conversation. There was, okay, cool.
Did he ever really love you?
Don't know, because every time after that he knew I went out with her, I had to have intimacy with him when I got home. To be reminded who I belonged to.
Oh, you were property.
Mm-hmm. I was the property that he could play with when he felt that his territory was being in danger. So basically, I was his. I don't know if
slave.
I don't know if I was his side piece or his main piece. I never could differentiate that.
Well, then you were supporting him.
Yeah, and he told his mommy on me.
Yeah.
And for the next 2 days.
His mommy, who's also his torturer.
Came to my house telling me about Jesus and salvation. Then he called the youth pastor that married us and told him what had happened. Told his wife what I had done. So then I had them at my house too. And I had three very religious people screaming at me for what I had done. How I betrayed my husband. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, when I flashed the tablet through and was like, he's talking to this woman, this woman, this woman, and this woman.
Right.
They're seeing his body parts.
Right.
They're getting this illicit message. Now, here's his text messages to me. When are you coming home? I don't want you home tonight. Mm-hmm. Since you like being at work more, stay at work. Mm-hmm. But this is what he's telling these women. This is what he's watching.
Right.
Who's really at fault? You. Because you're the woman. You need to be attractive for him.
Why?
Because
Everything
God said so.
Everything falls on the woman.
Exactly. For a trad relationship in their mind, I'm just supposed to be beautiful and feminine and just patient and kind and go to church and run lunches and this perfect facade that these people have created.
Right.
I was wearing suit and ties and I was having intimate relations with a woman that my husband knew about.
Right.
And really at that point didn't even care. It got to the point where he was like...
Yeah, he accepted it, but then why did he go snitch on...
Oh, no. He went further than that, honey. He actually got to a point where when she had to move in with us because, you know, she was leaving her abusive husband because I made her.
Right.
He was beating her. I mean, he was horrid. I got her out of there.
Wow.
So she came to stay with me only for like a week till she could figure out what she wanted to do, where she was going to go. And he was like, she can stay here. I'm like, that's an awesome idea. And he was like, but I have to watch.
That's what.
And I said, watch what? Like, what are we watching? Are we watching TV? What are we watching? I'm down with the movie. What we watching? He goes, oh, no, we're not watching a movie. I'm watching you with her. And you'll do it when I say you will. And I will determine how long y'all go.
I'm not hearing Christian behavior.
And I'm like, Mommy.
Your mommy or his?
His.
Okay. Your mother.
I tried to pull the card that he pulled on me.
Right.
Oh, it didn't work. Oh, it surely did not work. Julie was a spawn of Satan. She was poisoning me. She was taking me from her precious baby boy. And again, back to the church. And over a while, man, I started to hate the church. Because my husband's allowed to cheat on me. He's allowed to not work. He doesn't have to pay any bills. He doesn't have to get a license. He doesn't have to do anything because he's a man of the church. He was raised right, Christian values. And women don't talk in church. And because I had already been abused, I might be attention seeking and lying on him because he's a man.
Can you tell what denomination this is?
Baptist. Southern Baptist.
Primitive Baptist?
Yeah, it might have been.
Wow.
Might have been.
Wow.
Because finally when I moved states to try to get away. I moved states to get away from this woman. Every move I made. Mommy, she's being mean. Mommy, she's not paying for the $1,000 that I need. She's not buying me Taco Bell, and she's buying Julie Taco Bell. Like, I mean...
Taco Bell.
Yeah, that's how petty he got. So she would just scream at me. Now, mind you, I worked at a prison. I was working 17, 18 hours in a day, turning around driving an hour and 45 minutes home to sleep for 2 hours to go back to work. I didn't have time for that. Mommy, I didn't have time for that. I really didn't. But I dealt with it as being his wife.
Okay, so when we talk about... I tell you what, when you and I were originally talking about wanting to cover religious trauma, because this has been in the works for at least a month, like this little interview here, for the benefit of the audience to know. I assume that most of your religious trauma was related to being on the trans identity spectrum.
No. But
But it's really about being a biological female.
Yes.
Your religious trauma is that this is deeply misogynistic. The mother clearly has some kind of Stockholm syndrome because like everything that's been done to her, now she wants to reproduce that and do it to you.
No, because the church was the same way. When they found out I was sleeping with her, I was going to hell. Leviticus, Romans, 1 Corinthians, everything you see in every gay post on TikTok have been quoted to me.
So it's LGBT and being a woman.
Yeah.
That's where your religious trauma comes from.
Because I couldn't be with the person I loved that treated me well, respected me as a human being, treated me like I was human and had value. I could not be with her because the Bible said I was going to hell. I was an abomination.
Right.
I had to stay with the biological man they forced and pressured me into marrying.
Well, and being his property, being his supporter, being his comrade, like being everything being everything to him without him having to be anything to you. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, we're getting close to the time where you'll need to skedaddle. So let's. I would like to try to see if we can square this circle, right? Because we were poking at the left before, talking about this media agenda and marketing LGBT identity and transhumanism and eugenics, blah blah. And now we're poking at the right in terms of like this old school fundamentalism, patriarchy, misogyny, homophobia, transphobia. So we're poking to both sides. How do we square this circle? How do we create a world of just simple, gentle sanity for everyone involved?
Honestly, it is too much to ask for people to be respectful with their opinion and find common ground.
Why do you say that?
Because everybody's going to lean into their bias.
Uh-huh.
Everybody in this world has a bias. Mm-hmm. I have a bias. You have a bias.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to let that go.
So we're just doomed?
I think, honestly, what it's going to take is some self-reflection.
For everyone.
I think it is time for the left and the right, the Christians, the Muslims, everybody to shut up. For 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And think, how would I want to be treated when I'm walking down the street?
Whoa!
How do I want to be treated when I'm walking into a retail store?
Right.
How do I personally want to be treated regardless of who I'm married to, what job status, what I drive? Put all that out.
Uh-huh.
How would you like someone to speak to you and treat you at the end of the day? And if that is you saying, I want to be treated with respect. Mm-hmm. I want to be acknowledged and treated well. Okay, well, here's how that happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about keeping your opinion to yourself.
Yeah.
It's about being respectful.
Amen.
It is, here's my opinion, here's your opinion. Okay, we don't agree. But you know what? We can respectively disagree with each other and still have a phenomenal conversation. There's not a lot, there's a lot me and you agree on. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure, down the line, there's going to be a lot of things we don't agree on.
Oh, sure.
But I can look at you at the end of the day and say, you know what? You're my friend.
You're my friend.
And I respect you.
Yeah, likewise.
And you know what? I disagree. But that's cool. Mm-hmm. We don't have to talk about it. Mm. We don't have to talk about what we disagree about. Because at the end of the day, we're choosing conflict.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
We're not choosing what we are common ground on. Mm-hmm. We are just choosing that conflict.
The drama.
Stop choosing conflict with people.
Right.
If you know you're walking up to a Christian, don't hate on them. Just be like, hi, how are you? Oh, I'm good. How are you? I'm good. Mm-hmm. How about you have a wonderful day? Okay, cool. You too. Mm-hmm. Bet.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you have thoughts on how to scale that and how to normalize it and how to make that what people naturally gravitate towards instead of gravitating towards stress and drama and conflict?
I think we've gotten so used to the drama and the conflict that it's going to be almost like a detox.
It's adrenaline. The same reason why people get addicted to cocaine and caffeine and nicotine. It's the reason why people are addicted to drama. It stimulates your adrenals. It's that simple. Like people are adrenaline addicts, and it's like people need to find healthier outlets for that. Like go do some extreme sports or something. Like go do something else with that adrenaline addiction. Like stop tearing each other down.
Go rock climbing. Go jet skiing. Go do something.
Or even like if you're like, let's say you can't do stuff like that. Put on a set of VR goggles, go on one of those fake roller coasters,
Okay, go get a video game. I'm sorry, I'm a gamer. Go.
Yeah.
I have an extensive video game collection.
Right.
When I want drama, I just put in the right video game and I get drama. I want action. I want to hurt somebody. Mm-hmm. I want to be volatile. Mm-hmm. I pull out The Last of Us or a Call of Duty game and I get volatile with the video game and I put it away. Because my problem, my anger, that's for me to control. Mm-hmm. It's not for somebody else to take the brunt of. Mm-hmm. It's not my job. Mm-hmm. Trauma dumping should not be a thing either.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But at the end of the day, we are, as a society, so consumed
by it. Yes.
And it's going to take a detox. And this generation realizing, the one that's coming up, not my child's 2.
Right.
But the generation before her.
Right.
And our generation.
Right.
To stand up and go, you know what? You want drama, watch Jerry Springer.
Amen.
You want drama, watch some Steve Wilkos. Mm-hmm. Find an outlet. Find a show that feeds you. Mm-hmm. But don't take it out on the streets.
Amen. That's so simple, Kaylin.
Just treat people well. Like, trust me, I work retail. I can't tell you how many hate slurs I've had thrown at me.
Oh, I bet.
I've had trans slurs thrown at me when they figure it out.
Right.
You know, I've been cussed out all over the place.
Yeah.
Just for a simple, no ma'am, I'm sorry, no sir, I'm sorry, I couldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Or I misgendered somebody.
Right.
Because I couldn't read the driver's license that says X, and I didn't know what that was.
Oh, so you, even as someone on the trans spectrum, have misgendered someone and and gotten bitched out and laid out for it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I had a guy, okay. I can't.
A male to female?
Not quite sure. They I don't mean any disrespect.
Yeah.
They had a deep voice.
Okay.
But their gender marker was X.
So that means they prefer that?
It might have been, but I just...
Non-binary?
Yeah, it's possible. Or gender non-conforming, something of that nature.
Uh-huh.
And I said, sir. But they had long hair. And a small beard. And they were heavy set. So I was having a little... And mind you, again, I work retail. And I work a lot of hours in retail.
They looked like a sir.
They looked like a sir, and I heard sir.
Right.
Oh, how dare you misgender me?
Could they not tell that you are also on the trans spectrum?
No.
They couldn't tell. They didn't clock you. And they just
Not at all.
And they just treated you like an enemy.
Like a cis person.
Like an enemy.
Yes.
They treated you like a transphobic cis person.
Yeah. And then when they came back into my store during the day, they did the same disrespect. And I said, you know what's funny? There's a difference between me and you.
Yeah.
I'm trans and you're trans, but I don't care when people misgender me because I know who I am.
What did they say?
He was like, well, you should have known. Do I have like a transdar or a gaydar? Like, I don't think that's a thing. You have long hair. You have your nails done. You are wearing a woman's cami with a beard and booty shorts. I don't know how to approach that. Not even.
All right.
And he goes, well, look at you. I said, yeah, look at me. I have no nail polish on. I have longer hair, but I don't know many guys that can't have long hair.
Right.
I'm bound up.
Your haircut is very male.
I'm wearing guy pants.
Yeah.
I'm actually sagging a little because it's my day off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wearing boxers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wearing men's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
My voice ain't that high. At least I hope not.
Right.
I don't present as female.
Right.
The jewelry on my hand is a man's ring.
It looks quite like mine.
Yeah, I don't wear female jewelry.
Right.
The only close thing is maybe these, but I found these on Amazon and they said they were for men too.
No, that's like Skater Boy. Yeah.
Right. So how could you not clock me, but I'm supposed to clock you?
Well, you may or may not remember this, but when I was first getting to know you, I just simply, and I want to share this for cisgender people who want to know how to do this in a respectful way. I just simply asked you, do you have preferred pronouns? And you told me yes, and they were male. So that told me all I needed to know, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's like, do you agree that was a respectful way to ask?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful.
I would rather you ask me to my face what I prefer than assume.
Correct.
Because, I mean, I'm still going to be polite to you either way, because that's who I am.
Yeah, yeah.
It does not make my identity.
Right.
Who I believe I am, who I feel I am, that is not going to be everything about me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't wake up and go, I'm trans today.
Mm-hmm.
And that make up my identity.
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm a parent.
Mm-hmm.
I have responsibilities to my partner.
Right.
And I have a job.
Right.
Those and my religion.
Mm-hmm.
Those four things make up who I am at the end of the day.
Right.
My character, my personality, that makes me me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what you think I am.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you misgender me. I still have to use the female restroom, by the way.
Right.
Because biologically, I'm still female.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think I care if someone thinks I'm a masked lesbian? Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a masked lesbian today. Woo!
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I love my family. I take care of my family the best that I can.
Yeah.
Because I'm an American.
Right.
I have bills like everybody else. I have responsibilities like everybody else in this world. And with my job, I have a teensy bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'm in management.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I don't go, And I never met you and went, hi, I'm trans,
Right.
just so you know.
Right.
I never did that to you.
Right.
I said, hi, sir, how are you?
Right.
You told me what you needed. I gave you what you needed.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually, and if I remember correctly, it was a few transactions between us that way
Mm-hmm.
before you caught me outside and were able to have a conversation with me.
Oh, yeah. I didn't want to say it in line, and I was witnessing a lot of people misgender you, and I just chose not to say a gender, you know?
Yeah.
I chose not to use any pronouns. I just chose to say thank you until I had a chance to ask.
But you saw, I
Your name was Caleb. You were presenting in a certain way. Your proportions are what they are, you know? Like
but you saw.
I clocked it, yeah.
Right, but you saw every person that called me a female, even now, people who now know my dead name,
Mm-hmm.
They're like, she, her,
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess people could say I'm more non-binary if they really want to stretch the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you're gonna see me however you're gonna see me.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, am I getting paid to serve you? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do I take that paycheck home in 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's not what people call you; it's what you answer to. You know who you are.
Yeah.
Now, I have one final question because you're about to have to leave as per your schedule. How optimistic, you gave us a prescription of how we can start relating to each other as human beings again and get past this vitriol and this political division, and I call it neo-fascist agitation propaganda. That's what I like to call it, a divide and conquer strategy. How optimistic are you that we can get out of this?
I think we could when we realize what's really going on.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather was a very, very, very wise man.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to tell you his qualifications. Even though he's dead, I still don't want to stir anything.
Mm-hmm.
But he was very important
Right.
in his job. And he said that the one problem is that if you divide the American people, they become powerless.
Mm-hmm.
That is kind of the point.
Right. That's the entire point.
When you look at what we are a constitutional republic. Please look it up. If you genuinely don't know what that is,
Mm-hmm.
we are not a democracy. We are not a republic. We are a constitutional
Republic. Mm-hmm.
So we don't lean one way or the other. We
Right.
are what we are.
Right.
And the Constitution was very clear.
Mm-hmm.
We are the power.
Right.
The people are the power.
Exactly.
Not the government, not your state government, not your federal government.
Mm-hmm.
We are.
Mm-hmm.
And the longer you make us feel powerless, the more you dumb down the children, and you parents allow your children to be dumbed down.
Right.
Instead of grabbing that great piece of paper and reading it yourself.
Right.
Letting your children read their Bill of Rights. Let them read the Constitution and understand it. Stop dissecting it for what you don't like or what you do like.
Mm-hmm.
Read it for what it is when it says, we, the people,
Mm-hmm.
are in control.
Right.
We can overthrow a tyrannical government. We control our government.
Mm-hmm.
Learn it.
Right.
Express it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop letting them divide you based on religious, personal belief.
Right.
Put it aside, people. Go read your Constitution and then listen to what they tell you is in it.
Mm-hmm.
And put it aside. And just learn to talk. And be respectful. Build those bridges and bonds that need to be so badly built if you want a better world. And a better world for our children.
Mm-hmm.
And our children's children.
Mm-hmm.
Because if not, this cycle is going to continue. And we're going to have less and less children. And
Mm-hmm.
less and less of a future.
I think that's the right place to end it. Caleb, thank you so much.
No problem.